This doesn't have a title, but it's about me being a black girl in America. I am a black girl in America, scared to death in the land of the free, home of the brave. Because I am afraid that these chains wrapped around my brains are tugging my thoughts into insanity. You guys, I'm afraid of death. Every time a cop pulls into the left of my rearview mirror, I hear the sirens like a purge anthem. I shake to my core in fear that I won't make it out alive. I still have hope for humanity, though. The changes we face of various colors being mixed into a rainbow to spread love. You can't tell me God ain't real. Because God lifted me up out of the lake in the middle of the dark. It was nothing but God. The blood and tears over many years from my ancestors' fears of fighting to survive protected me in stressful times. If it wasn't for the blood, my church sings in my ears. My sins have been forgiven for years to come. Because in the name of Jesus, Grandma Robin, Grandpa Peter used to say, passed down to Brandy Johnson, remembrance of Grandma Inez and Grandpa Eugene, took down the barriers for me to be here, happy, healthy, and holy. I give God the glory. For every destruction around police brutality, that life lost thrives in spirituality. Give Black folks their flowers now, if not their reparations. A name forgotten should not be a common mistake. Here, there is fear in my heart that my eyes can't be blind to the truth. America, open your eyes. The change we are looking for is not outside of our control like the walls you want to build to keep this nation strong. Our problem is ours that needs to be faced head on. Just look for a second at what is real. The ugly is no different from beautiful. You kill, we steal. You hate, we love. Can today be the day to stop our looting, lying, and murder? I expect better solutions for our future. No more toxins in the airs. How about the best oxygen from fruit trees down every block of minority communities? I rebel against wicked ways. I rebel against wicked ways entering into our bodies like poisonous foods, torment our thought process. Let's go back organic. Again with wholesomeness in mind, body, and spirit, because the more we slaughter, the worse our judgment, because of the blood on our hands. Didn't America say all lives matter? I can picture our youth and elders together collecting the trash on the ground because that symbolizes the mess in our system, no pun intended. I am committed to spitting what's real because the truth shall set you free. America is built off of Black hands and our national flag should be red, black, and green. But I digress. I am just upset because almost 75% of African Americans are undiagnosed mentally ill, have PTSD, are anxious, and will to suicidal rates by just being at a 13% of the American population as a whole. I rebel over fear. God is near. And if on the dollar bill it is labeled "In God We Trust," why do we separate God from us when He created us in their image? I was suspended from class for sitting down for lies. I can't breathe in a place that haunts me from being me, a human being. America should not value money over itself. Where is your wealth? It's in your health. So cut your intake for greed of money and start to evaluate what a tree is really for, honey. It's for your oxygen to the lungs and food, knowledge for the tongue. Something civilization lacks in because of COVID-19. However, I believe with a healthy body, mind, and spirit, we can reverse the time of chaos like the fight with Scar and Simba and live in paradise. To fight for what's right is a war I'm willing to take. To live without fear is no mistake. God bless America.
That was during the time of massive resistance, and like I told you, it was called massive resistance. And I told you I was a senior at Booker T in 1959, and I had already been accepted to go to Hampton Institute, and when I heard that the schools were closing, all the governor had closed all these schools, I said, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to go anyway because they're going to close our school. But as a young person, 17 years old, little did I not know that no white person wanted to come to Booker T. And for that reason, we kept right on going. We just kept right on going. And we were the only high school that had commencement in 1959. And those 10,000 white students that were involved, because when they closed the school, they closed it out. And closed out these 17 students. And that's how I told you that I got involved in this 17 students. My church, First Baptist, the historic First Baptist Church, right down there in Norfolk, opened their doors, and they had a school right in the Sunday school room, and they taught those 17 students right in the Sunday school room of our church. And one day, if you ever come in town, I'll show you the big display. We have a home of the Norfolk 17.
All the way from Virginia Beach in this flood. Give it up for Jalyn.
My name is Jalyn, and I just want to preface with I was really pleased to hear that interview with Ms. Lula, because that story is very near and dear to my heart. My grandmother, Patricia Jalyn White, is the eldest of the Norfolk 17. She has since passed, but I've dedicated my life to her and her legacy and telling her story. So I appreciate spreading the information in that class of 59 that was locked out, shut out during this massive resistance era that was taking place. So just wanted to say that. All right, I don't have a title for this poem yet, but hopefully I will soon. Surrounded and captured, accepted, loved. I turn my head and see a sea of excellence part and make way for substance, story, shadowed by the shouts of our beloved ancestors. We stand and look across the street to seek the complementary half of King's dream, but do I feel safe here? Yes, yes, I am home. Sometimes I wonder if the diasporic destination that is Africa is a distant reality. This safe haven ropes me back in, blankets me in, comforts me, whispers, this is for you. Here, you will learn about your native land. Will you converse with the people of the Congo? Will you love with the people of Liberia? This place is for you. You will figure it out here. Accept, love, and capture. Surround yourself with people who look like you. Look across the street and seek the destiny, the journey, the other half of King's dream, and say to yourself, you are home. This is for you. Thank you.
Hi. Okay. My name is Trinity. I'm also a part of Teens with a Purpose. I've been with this program since my freshman year, and while I cannot be there physically, I am definitely there in spirit. I wrote a poem to Miss Lulu from the interview that we heard, and it was just very touching to me. Okay. To Miss Lulu. It's ironic they forced you to sit on the lawns to eat your lunch, not knowing that they were only getting you closer to the sky, subconsciously reminding you that it was your only limit. To coincide with those who hated you and yet held your head up respectfully, gave me the opportunity to interact joyfully with those who did not look like me. Thank you. Because of you, I can understand my history gratefully and interact with all people gracefully. And that's all I had so far. All right, thank you.
When my family first moved from Elizabeth City, North Carolina to Princess Anne County, there were no schools for colored children. Our parents, meaning the community, insisted that the colored children be educated in Princess Anne County too. A man in our community, a Mr. Bray, had a 2-room building, and they arranged for 2 teachers to be transported to our school to teach us while we were in grammar school. It was a very trying time for us, and it was made more difficult for us because we were not afforded the same opportunities as the white children. Me and my brother walked from the Green Hill Farm to Great Neck for grammar school. While the white children were riding the bus, we walked in all types of weather, sometimes taunted by the whites as they passed me and my brother as we walked to school. We had 2 teachers, Mr. T.C. Smith and Miss Goodman, and 2 rooms in Union Baptist Church. Mr. Smith and Mrs. Goodman taught all the children, all the students. Mr. Smith was tough. Miss Goodman was nice. They were both nice, but we didn't have any problems because we knew that we were there to learn, and they were very dedicated teachers.
Oh. The title of this is called Why. Why? That's all I asked and wondered for the past years. That's all I ask myself. Why does this happen to me? When I walk outside my house, I feel unsafe. Why does black men have to be shot by white cops, and why do black girls have to stay quiet? Why does this happen? And I wonder, what does it mean to be a black person with no worries? That's it.
My name is the messenger. I've come with a speech. To the victims and victimizers, heed me while I preach. As you all know, a war has been going on for a long time now, a long time too long. Many lives have been lost, and it's time for it to stop. This message is from God to you victimizers, you. Our Lord is ashamed. He says, look what has become of you. You go and with their backs and make them carry sacks and treat them like trash just because they're black. Someone else was with like that. His name was Jesus, my son. He was killed for speaking the truth. He was different, so he was shunned. But you've never learned your lesson, gaining power with fear. I see you still haven't changed after 2,000 years. How dare you hurt your neighbor, your kin, because of where they've been or the color of their skin? I made them. I gave them life. I sent my son to die for them. With bruised skin, blood dripping down his chin, stabbed in the side and died for their sins, for them. And now this is how you treat them? So get down on your knees and wash their filthy feet and treat them like a king and act like you're their servant. Another thing, something that is just as important. To the victims, learn to wake up with love in the morning. To the victims, please learn to forgive those who've wronged you. It may be difficult, but it's what our God would do. Serve your neighbor, even if you hate him or hate her, and only then this terrible war will be over. Now that you know your mistake, don't thank me. I'm just a humble messenger doing my job. Thank God for making us all unique and beautiful, black, white, and colorful, sons and daughters of the Lord.
It was hard getting to school with no transportation. I had to catch the man who transported the teachers to Great Neck, who taught the grammar school on the return trip. I was dropped off near Union Baptist School. Outside bathrooms, I was dropped off near the school to complete my walk to the church for school. And I remember times for recess. In all the 12 years of going to school to get my education, I never had a chance to ride the bus to school.
The good things, of course, like you say, were the good teachers. The bad thing was the lack of materials and the outdoor toilets and drinking from the pumps. And and the bugs and the rats in the toilet and stuff. I wouldn't go in there. I just wouldn't. It was just too scary. But after we got the seats, they raised enough money. The parents did this. Now the school board did not give us any money. The parents raised the money by selling chicken dinners and fish dinners and all kinds of things and candy to raise the money to build that first school. Well, somebody from my generation feels sad for the people what you were going through, and just throwing paper on me from the bus is nothing compared to somebody going to try to shoot you or hurt you. That's the part that's so sad about today's. And well, I won't go any further.
How kind of powerful was that? Like, Dr. Ruby grew up in days of segregation, and she's saying that she feels for you, Andre, for having to grow up in this atmosphere, and for these kids at the teen center. That's crazy.
Yeah. It also is interesting to me because that's the second time I heard you say that, Dr. Ruby, and it made me think back to when I was in grade school. A lot of the information that I got about the times in segregation, it seemed a lot more extreme. They highlighted the more extreme, really visceral parts of, so when I hear you share experience, I was like, wow. I was like, what other things were left out, or why is it that I only learned about this one avenue of that time and what segregation is like.
Yes, my name is Emeka. I am one of the many amazing staff members at Teams with Purpose. I'm so glad to be in front of you all today. Well, throughout our 4 past sessions, we've been doing a lot of amazing things with our poetry. We've spoken about sharing our legacy and what we want to leave behind. We've had even guest speakers speak about their experiences in a segregated school. We've also edited poems and used our rubric to work on our performance. But this week is special because this week we're talking about word choice and how important it is to use word choice in our poetry.
For a special sister. A sister always understands the things you do, the things you say. She overlooks your faults, and she finds the best in you. A sister's love is special. It inspires you every day. You'll love her warm and caring ways. She's one of the greatest treasures ever known.
So this poem is entitled An Artist's Nightmare. Black, white, colors of the like my people, my story is told in color. But which color? I can be anything. I can paint myself every color of the rainbow, but I still wouldn't be good enough for you. Would you hate me if I were purple, oozing extravagance, royalty, independence like Sealy? If I were blue, would I be crucified? Are you threatened by my stability like an Alabama sky? Would you despise me if I were green? So down to earth, grounded, my soil is rich like my story. You hear my every breath deep like the seas. Would I face hostility if I were yellow? Bright like a faded flashlight in a dark tunnel. Am I everything you want me to be? Now, would I become abomination if I were orange? The glow on my skin is like a crackling fire that can't be put out. I am a confusing shade of success. You may feel sweet attraction. Now, if I were red, how would I be perceived? Another mad Black woman angry at the world? Yes, sure. A speck of dark excellence in a world of false positivity and rekindling of Black nativity, trying to repair our broken hearts like mechanics' hands permanently stained Black. There's also a sense of familiarity you feel when you see me. The image of my wet face as I shuffle past in shackles is branded into your brain. The sticky, blistering mountains on my back give you chills. The salty tears falling from my frightened eyes bring you guilt. You may have witnessed me hanging from the poplar trees. Ah, yes, that southern breeze. Eyes trying to escape the sockets, mouth twisted like a pretzel salted with my own tears. Yet I still managed to raise my right fist and look Mr. Oppression and Ms. Oppression right in the eye as we all mix and the rainbow slowly fades to gray. I remain defiant until my last breath. I hang my head and die. Thank you.
Prior to entering Princess Anne County Training School, I attended 2 elementary schools. I attended Oceana Elementary School from first through 5th grade, and we walked to school. And this building was a 2-room structure, wooden structure with an outdoor toilet. I remember that well because we were always I know when I was going to school and my girlfriends and I, we always tried to not have to go to the outdoor toilet. And the school was heated with, I remember this black coal stove sitting in the middle or the corner of the building. It was heated by wood or coal. And sometimes upon entering, arriving at school, there was no heat. Someone had not heated the building, made a fire for us. But we had good neighbors at that time, and they took us in until someone heated the building.
So this is a poem I wrote about a video we watched in a poetry club about the first Black school in Virginia, in Virginia Beach. It was only about a century ago that this state was not just right. It took 13 whole years, and these strong people never gave up the fight. All they wanted was a school, a place for proper education. But racism still sadly is alive inside our nation. The school board was unfair. They didn't care. Black people need as much as you. But they were inspiring and strong, because they had their wings. And when the meteor hit, they flew. High into the sky, never looking down. 13 years it took. But these proud people finally got their school in VA.
Class of 1969 was the last class at Union Kingsville. My brother was in that class, so it still has special meaning. I was enrolled at Norfolk State University at the time, and we came back at homecoming. I was in the ROTC program, and at that time, you wanted to walk around homecoming in your uniform and show all the young girls that you were on your way. And so that was a good time. Say that I missed the school, yes. Missed it because it meant so much to me and others. As I got older, I also found out how important school really was. From the idea that it was the only high school in Virginia Beach for minority students at the time. And it caused a real bonding, I think, with the students because they were coming from all sections of Virginia Beach. Talking about busing, Union Kingsville knew a lot about busing. They were busing in students from Pungo and Blackwater to come to this high school. So we knew about busing. Also, I would say about busing in Virginia Beach, to me, was not necessarily all bad because I got a chance to ride through neighborhoods that I didn't know existed, met people that I probably would not have met. So it was a good exposure for me to ride the bus, meet new people, and go into new neighborhoods and homes of others.
I was a member of the last graduating class of Princess Anne County Training School / Union Kingsville High School. On graduating day, that was a wonderful day because I was excited that I had the opportunity to attend the last graduating class. And as I went up to receive my diploma, I looked in the audience and I said, well, I'm not going to see a lot of my old friends, you know, through the years, but this closing of our school meant that future generations will receive a better education.
I don't understand why nobody seems to care at all. Don't know who I am, and people just make me feel so small. I just want a place where I belong. I need a shelter from my home. I can't find the strength to keep going on. I'm tired of feeling so alone. Catch me, I'm falling down. Catch me before I hit the ground.